Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicea.
I'm Nathan.
I'm Kaitlyn. And I'm Sanae.
Welcome to this week's episode of Adventures and Mousecapades.
This week, we're going to discuss Kaitlyn's decision to hike up?
It was a hike.
Okay. A 4,200-foot mountain with zero training and in tennis shoes.
Yep.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was fun. I kind of hurt a lot today.
How are you feeling today?
Yeah, I can't really walk, but it's fine.
Details.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. Yeah.
All right. Well, we actually have somebody special here with us today. Sanae.
Woo.
Welcome.
World famous. Or something.
The household famous.
There you go.
Yeah, you guys know me.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. Kaitlyn and Sanae are besties. They just graduated high school together, and y'all just went to Paris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Disneyland Paris.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Disneyland Paris. Do we want to talk about the flight over at all?
I mean, I feel like it must be mentioned.
Yes. Right? We flew Aer Lingus from Seattle to Dublin and Dublin to Paris. I've never been on Aer Lingus before. We were in an odd row. We were, what is that called? The bulkhead? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were at the bulkhead, so we couldn't put anything under the seats in front of us. We had to go above the compartment. The flight was about 9.5, 10 hours.
Something like
that. Yeah. And you two were able to take a couple of cat naps. I stayed awake the entire time because I can't sleep on planes. The flight was fine. I didn't have any issues with it.
No.
Good for you guys. Have you ever been on flights that long before?
No. Nope. I went to Hawaii once, and that was about the
5
closest
hours,
we got.
Hawaii and Orlando are about the same amount
Are they?
time-wise. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So no other issues besides the fact that you were up for 30 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the only thing about that flight for me was the times that they would list on our tickets.
Yeah.
They were never accurate. It was like,
No.
you're boarding at 10, but really you're boarding at 11. Like,
yeah. It was weird.
yeah. And
Yeah,
stressful.
it said
Yeah.
gate closes at, and that was the actual, like, when they started boarding.
Yeah. Yep.
That did cause some stress.
Yes.
Just a bit. But we got to Paris. The airport was funky. It had weird escalator, moving sidewalk things.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool. We eventually got to Disneyland. We took the 10-minute train, which was very nice,
Yeah.
from the airport to Disneyland Paris. There's other options you can take, but we paid a little more because we wanted the convenience of getting there quickly. You can also take the RER and the Metro, and it takes about an hour and a half to get there.
That's quite a difference between an
TG.
hour and a half and
Yes.
like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's the high speed. It's the high speed train. We took the high speed train. Which is very nice,
And it's
yeah.
not making stops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is here and there, but it's a lot faster.
Got it.
Yeah.
We enjoyed that quite a bit.
I wish we had those here.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Right?
So I'm just going to start off at the parks at Disneyland Paris. The main entrance is not actually Disneyland Paris. It's the hotel. It's the Disneyland Hotel. What did y'all think? First thoughts walking up to that?
Well, it was one of those things where I was like, wait, this is just the hotel? I was like, it kind of looks like it could just be the castle. It's not. The castle's even cooler, but it's just kind of extra magical because it just looks so pretty. It's all
Yes.
pink and stuff.
Yes.
It was really big. I wasn't expecting it to be that big.
The hotel?
Yeah. But it was basically like the whole entryway. You just get to walk through it. And you're like, wow, I'm under a hotel right now.
Yeah. We were there, the first time we were there, it was early morning magic hours because we were hotel guests. And so we got there a little earlier. We didn't get to go through the main entrance. They shoveled us around to the right, which we used later times too, because it's a lot quicker to go through there.
And for the record, you got to your hotel like at night,
Yes.
had dinner and crashed,
Yep.
and then got up the next morning.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about hotel a little later.
Okay.
We're going through the main park first. So we went through the main entrance, got into the park, and there's the Main Street USA area, which is very reminiscent of the Disneyland Main Street area and the Orlando Main Street area. So it has that main circle area that opens up to the Main Street Parkway where you see the castle. It had the same feel as the other ones. Seemed a little more roomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The road seemed wider.
Yeah. And we kind of turned the corner and there's the castle right there.
I don't know. I was kind of awestruck. I didn't really have any words. I was just like, oh my goodness. It was like really big and it was on a hill. And oh my gosh. It was just so pretty.
I think like this is my favorite castle that I've seen. I mean, especially compared to like LA Disneyland and Florida, like it's a huge upgrade. It's kind of got that really cartoony feel still. Like my favorite part are the trees they have on the side that are shaped like squares. And like I feel like I just actually walked into the storybook and I'm like in the book. Like
Yep. Yeah, it's a gorgeous castle. And Kaitlyn, I was the same way. I was just totally awestruck. I'm like, I'm in Paris.
Yeah.
I'm in Disney in Paris. Yay.
That sounds like the first experience I had when I saw the castle in Florida, because it was our marching band trip. I was a freshman in high school, and I remember we were in the parade and we came out and we run around the flagpole circle, and then you finish the circle and go straight towards the castle. And I remember taking that turn and just like, oh my gosh, this is real. This is cool. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I love that experience. It's awesome that you're able to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe someday I'll be able to do it.
Maybe. So Main Street USA is your typical Main Street. It's full of shops. It's full of restaurants. One of the cool things about the Disneyland Paris Main Street USA is on the backside of the shops on both sides, there's like an arcade, a covered walkway along the back entrances. So on the right, you have Discover Arcade, and then on the left is Liberty Arcade. We had munchies at Cookie Kitchen because we went by it and saw the beignets, the Mickey-shaped beignets. So we went in a little later and got those. How were those?
Nah, I don't know. They were fine. I always like to say they tasted way more like a donut than a beignet,
Yeah.
or what we're used to as a beignet over here.
Yep.
So it wasn't what I was expecting, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah. It was a good little snack to have. I
Yeah.
think we just needed something in our bellies at the time when we visited there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And was that shop on Main Street?
Yes, that's on Main Street USA.
Okay. And then so I think what we haven't clearly identified, like if you're used to, I don't think they have it in California, but in Florida, in high traffic times or during a parade or whatnot, they'll open that back pathway on the right by Tony's Town Square, quote unquote Italian restaurant. And it's not covered, but you can walk basically behind all of those shops. In what you're saying in Paris is that that kind of space is covered and it's open all the time, and it's on both sides of the street.
It is, yes. And it's not like Orlando at all. It's basically like an alley entrance to the restaurants and shops.
Got it. Okay.
But it doesn't look like an alley. It's like an arcade, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it? It's called an arcade. Just a nice covered walk area. It's got some decor, like old-timey decor. There's some seating areas over there. There's benches and chairs that you can sit in.
But it's an amazing idea from People Flow.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. It really
I
is.
really wish they'd do that in the other parks, because I mean, we had the problem trying to get out of, what was it, Not So Scary.
Yeah.
And we got stuck by the parade and had to end up watching the whole parade like 1.5 times.
We may have used the arcade. I think we did the Liberty Arcade when we were going for dinner one evening over in Fantasyland, because there was this huge parade going on, which we wanted to see later, but we didn't. And we just kind of tried to get through all the people, but we were swimming upstream basically. Everybody was leaving and we were going the other direction so we could get to dinner. So Discover Arcade is on the right, Liberty Arcade is on the left. And one of the interesting things that we saw about the Liberty Arcade was they had a little, I guess, homage to Lady Liberty, to the Statue of Liberty. And how did we find that?
It was on the app.
Oh, the game app.
Yeah, there was
That's right. There was a
yeah.
game app you could download. It was like kind of a scavenger hunt type thing for different areas of the park.
Yeah.
And it led us to the Liberty Arcade and this little alcove. You wouldn't see it unless you knew it was there because it was
Yeah.
really well hidden. And they just had a little thing about France giving America the Statue of Liberty, and there's a little talk about it there. So that was kind of cool.
It was cool.
Yeah. Let's see. What else did we do on Main Street?
I mean, we had food at Walt's.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had lunch at Walt's American Restaurant, which it's a restaurant on Main Street.
Yep.
Named Waltz, and it
Named
has
Walt's-
American style
Yes,
food.
exactly.
I think it was like the only place you could actually go upstairs in the park, right?
Yes.
So we got like a cool view of the parade when it went by.
Yeah.
Because we
I-
were up.
I think I remember hearing that it is the only of all the Disney properties, Walt's is the only place where you can get onto the second floor of Main Street. Like all of them across the globe.
Mostly those are offices in a lot
Yeah.
of the other parks. Yeah.
Yeah. That was really nice. We were seated in a little room right by the windows. One of the neat things about this restaurant, from what I could see, is there's a whole bunch of different little compartments or rooms you could go to. And we were there right when they opened, and they put us in our own little room for a while. We could see right over Main Street. It was really fun. And we got a little treat from sitting there.
Oh yeah, the parade was cool. Because I know the floats were like 2 stories, and so we got to, I guess, have a better view of the characters that were on like the top story, and like you could see them, and some of them could like see into the restaurant. So we were waving at them, and some of the characters waved back.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Peter Pan. I remember we saw Peter Pan.
Oh yeah,
And what was he doing?
he saw me eating food, and he was like motioning like he was eating food, and I was like, yeah, it was really good, and he was like, I want to be eating food too. So he looked all upset, but yeah.
Yep. I think who else? So we saw Joy saw us. The Mad Hatter saw us. Peter Pan. Was there anybody else, or was that the 3?
I feel like it was just those.
Yeah, I
Nice.
think so.
That was fun. That parade was called the Dream and Shine Brighter Parade. Just from what I've seen of the Disneyland Paris parades, I like theirs. They have nice floats, just nice ideas.
Yeah.
How big was it? Like, was this a huge parade, or was this more like a cavalcade kind of thing?
I think it had 5 floats in
Okay.
total, something like that.
All right.
And they were each the 2-story floats, and then they had like dancers in between. So
Okay.
it's one
So-
of their main parades.
So it wasn't just those few characters you
No.
named. It was lots of characters. Those are the ones that saw you, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
got it.
Those are some of the ones that were on the upper decks of the floats.
Makes sense.
So for food at Walt's, we had some good stuff. Kaitlyn, at Walt's, you had, it looks like it was the sweet corn soup.
Mm.
How's that?
It was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't really to my taste, but yeah, it had popcorn in it. It was weird.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Smoked popcorn.
And it was soggy because it was sitting in soup. I didn't touch it because I was like,
Okay.
it's American.
I beg to differ.
Well, it was funny because when the soup came out, you were in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And so you weren't even there. They like poured it into the bowl, and there was like, I was like, okay, dinner and a show.
And Sanae, you had the chicken pot pie, right? for
Yeah. That
For
was
the-
pretty good. Not gonna lie.
I had the fruit slaw, which I was thinking it would be like slaw with fruit. It was not. It was cold slaw, and it had like a blackberry on top of it, and that was it.
A blackberry.
Yes.
Wow.
The main courses were pretty good. I had the chili con carne, which had Walt's chili with it, his like famous chili that he likes, which is really good. Did you both have the roast chicken breast?
Yeah.
I remember you saying you liked that a lot.
It was really good.
The sauce, I remember. It
Yeah.
was really good.
Mm.
And for dessert, I had the lemon meringue pie, which was good. Kaitlyn had the Flower Street sundae, which was a bunch
Yeah.
of different ice creams.
It was like 3 different ice cream flavors.
And Sanae, you had the warm chocolate chip and hazelnut cookie, right?
Yes.
That looked really good.
tasted really good too.
I'm hungry.
I think that's the main stuff that was on Main Street USA. There's of course a lot of shops in there. We went through the shops. There's nice. Nice stuff in there. I needed a hat with a brim. They do not sell baseball caps at Disneyland Paris. So I got this really bright gold one, I guess, because I needed something to cover my eyes. It was weird. When we got there, the first ride we went on was over in Discoveryland, which is what we usually call Tomorrowland in the United States parks. There was a bunch of stuff we did not go on over there.
Yeah.
So the first thing you did was Autopia, right?
It wasn't open. I don't know if it was.
It was there.
It was there, yeah. It just wasn't open. We didn't get on Autopia. We mentioned that we wanted to do it, and we just never got on. There's a bunch of stuff we didn't get on.
Oh no, you'll have to go back.
Oh no.
Oh.
The first ride that we went on was Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain, our very first Disneyland Paris ride.
Yep.
It was a walk-on.
Yeah, there was no one in front of us.
Nobody was in front of us. It was super quick to go through the line, which was okay. I mean, there's some of the stuff in the queue that you want to see. We
Yeah.
just blew by all of it because we wanted to get on the ride. This Space Mountain is a little different from the other Space Mountains.
A little bit.
This one has shoulder harnesses.
Ooh.
And you get launched like you do in Rock and Roller Coaster and other various roller coasters.
That's cool.
It launches you up at an angle. I know Rock and Roller Coaster is just flat launch.
Right.
This one is an angled launch. And I don't remember too much about it other than it was fast, it was dark, and it was disorientating.
Yep. No, it went upside down. It did some corkscrews. It's basically like Rock and Roller Coaster, but Space Mountain.
Got it.
And Star Wars.
The Star Wars hyperspace part, that's an overlay, right? It's not, is it permanently hyperspace
I
mountain?
think it's
it's
been
always
yeah, it's
hyperspace.
Yeah.
permanently
Oh.
Hyperspace Mountain right now. I mean, there's some definite screens and stuff that they have in there,
Right.
where you can see TIE fighters. And
I don't know. I
X-Wings
couldn't
and-
really see anything. I
was-
was like so out of it.
Yes.
It was kind of a good intro to Disneyland Paris rides. I feel like they're all kind of like that. They're all like US times 2.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. The stuff over in Discoveryland is Autopia. We did not go on that. Mysteries of the Nautilus. We did not go on that. Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain. We went on that. Orbitron. Did not go on that one.
Is that the spinner?
Yes.
Okay.
Like Astro Orbiter.
Yeah.
Mickey's PhilharMagic.
What?
Yeah, that was over there. A lot of these actually were not open
Yeah.
the time that we were over there because it was early.
Yeah.
We didn't go back into Discoveryland at all.
PhilharMagic is just such a non sequitur to everything else that's in this land.
The Star Wars Starport is over there as well. Star Tours. There's a Cafe Hyperion. It has the large blimp, dirigible, whatever it is there. It's just a quick service restaurant. And then Buzz Lightyear Laser Blast, which we did go on because nobody was there. And you guys went on that and just spun around the entire time. Let's see. On to Fantasyland. This is a big park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. Fantasyland's pretty sprawling. There's just a lot of stuff over there. Fantasyland starts off with the castle. And the nice thing about this castle is it's 2 stories and you can go up into it
Yep.
and look around. I really liked the story that they had there. It's a Sleeping Beauty castle, so it tells the story of Sleeping Beauty in the tapestries and the stained glass and everything. Did you 2 go up on that floor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
It was so pretty. Like, it's very detail oriented. There's a lot of little things that like you kind of have to look closely at to truly kind of see the whole story.
Yeah. And the view from the castle, like when you get on the 2nd floor and go on the balcony, you can just see like basically everything in Fantasyland. That was really cool.
Now, the castle is set, at least from the exterior, up on a hill. What's the first floor of the castle? Do you have to walk up the hill, or are you basically going into the hill?
I mean, it is a little uphill, what like the road going like through the castle.
Yeah.
So I guess technically you walk uphill, but that's
Yeah, you walk up the hill to the main part of the castle. It's not a steep walk at all.
So it's nowhere near what it looks like when you like turn onto Main Street, and it's like
Correct.
there's this huge hill that
Yeah.
you've got. Okay.
It's a gradual incline.
Got it.
And then you have to take stairs to get up to the 2nd floor. One thing that was closed that I was very bummed about was I don't know what it's called, the dragon dungeon underneath the castle. There's supposed to be an area where you can see a dragon under the castle, and it's a huge animatronic, but that was closed.
So you guys were there in mid-June. Mm-hmm. Sounds like that is the maintenance time. Well, and then some of the stuff you were talking about we didn't do in Discoveryland just because you hit that during early operating hours and didn't circle back.
Yeah.
But there was also a bunch of stuff in Disneyland that was closed for refurb while you were there. That's a bummer.
And some of the stuff was opening like the day we got on our flight back.
Yeah, that tracks. That's how our luck works.
Yep. Yeah, Fantasyland has a lot of stuff. We went on Small World, which was nice. We did that in the evening. You two went through the Alice's Curious Labyrinth, which is a hedge maze, basically, with Alice in Wonderland characters. I did not walk through that. Tell me about that one a little.
I honestly think it's so weird, kind of, because like that's so unlike any other. Because it's barely even a ride, you know, like you're just walking through something, but it was still really cool. I feel like if I was a child, I would have gotten lost. Yeah. But thankfully, I am only slightly a child, so I didn't get lost. But I thought it was really cool, and like they have a lot of different statues and things in there, and I don't know, it was an interesting, different kind of experience.
Yeah. I don't think we actually like saw everything because I think there was like the right path you could take to get to the Queen of Hearts castle, and then if you went like another way, then like a dead end, you would like see something else. But we obviously tried to get to the castle as quickly as we could. But no, it was really cool, and you could go up into the Queen of Hearts castle, and I don't know. It was also a good view of Fantasyland from that too, because you could like see over like the maze and everything. You could like watch people go through the maze and then see like the carousel and like everything, which was also closed. The carousel was closed.
Lancelot's carousel was closed.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Now, there's also the Casey Jr. train. Did you guys go on the train?
We did, yeah.
Okay. And that kind of goes around the fairy tale boats ride. And you went on that too.
Yep.
This is basically like Disneyland in Anaheim, where they've got like the storybook stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the land of fairy tales is what it's called, but it's in French, so that's not what it's called.
Le Land de Fairy Tales.
Nope. Not even close. How did that compare to the Disneyland Storybook Canal?
It was literally the same.
Was it really? I didn't know if it was
I
different
don't
at all.
even know if I've actually been on the Disneyland one, so I'm not gonna lie. So
I mean, there was nothing different.
Do you go through Monstro's Mouth, the big whale?
Oh, no, we didn't do that, but I think other than that.
Oh, it was like the Aladdin.
Yeah, we went to the
Tiger,
Cave of Wonders, but I think they have that in Anaheim too.
I don't know. Have to try it
I
again.
don't know.
I don't remember.
The other things that are in Fantasyland are the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the Voyages of Pinocchio, Peter Pan's Flight, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, Mad Hatter's Teacups. That's it ride-wise. We didn't go on anything else there. But we did eat at Cinderella's Inn, which was Auberge de Cendrillon. I don't know how to say Cinderella in French.
Le Cinderella?
Yeah, sure.
I guess that would be La Cinderella. I apologize.
This was a sit-down table restaurant character meal, and it was very good. I think this was the last Disneyland meal that we had. Yeah. I remember when we got there, the hostess was like, "Can you make sure you're going to want to pay this much for a meal?" I'm guessing people got upset at the price because it is a little more expensive. It's a sit-down character meal, and those can run a lot.
I didn't know that it was a character meal.
I didn't either. I just saw that there was something available. I'm like, yes, we'll do this. It's 95 euros for adults. They also have a wine pairing with it, so it's 115 euros if you want wine, and it's 50 euros for the kids.
How much is it worth for the kids with the wine package?
50. No wine package for the kids.
It is France. I mean,
I know. This is true. The characters that were there were two of Cinderella's mice. We had Susie and Perla. Susie is the mouse in teal blue, and Perla's in purple. Snow White was there and Cinderella was there too.
Yeah.
This was a bit unexpected. It was really good. I really enjoyed the meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaitlyn, this is where you had the pumpkin soup, right?
Yep.
Wasn't your jam?
Nope.
I do remember the amuse-bouche was the cheese madeleine. That was
Those were
good.
Those are really good.
Let's see. For appetizers, Kaitlyn had the pumpkin soup. You had the warm scallops, right?
Yeah, that's what I had.
How was that?
Those were good. It was funny because my parents, who were back home in Seattle, had scallops like 2 days prior, and I was like, "This is my payback." So I sent them a picture. I was like, "Well, now I had scallops, and I think they were better." But yeah, they were really good.
And I had a duck pear and chestnut pate. That was very good too. It was a cooler pate, which is good. For dinner part, let's see.
It's France. It's the entree.
Entree. No, entree is
Appetizer.
appetizer.
What?
Yeah, I
know
know.
that.
That was, I can't remember what the main course was. Main course.
Yeah.
Le main course.
The choices for main course were beef casserole or a fish or a chicken. I had the beef casserole.
I feel like we both had chicken.
Yeah.
One of the things that came with this that we were just astounded by, all dishes are served with cheesy mashed potatoes. This is the most delicious thing I think I ate on our entire trip.
Heaven on earth.
It was stupendous.
I'm still really confused why they don't have those here in America.
Yeah.
Like, it feels very American.
It does. And for desserts, there's a warm chocolate lava cake, fruit and red berries, celebration cake, chocolate mousse, strawberry, and almond shortbread. Somebody had the lava cake. Who had the lava
I
cake?
think we.
You guys had the lava cake?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of us.
I had the celebration cake, which was like Cinderella's celebration, and it just had a white chocolate slipper on it in some red jam, so it looked like Cinderella smashed something. The cake was good. I liked this dinner. It was a good dinner.
It was a nice way to end it.
Yeah, it was.
And I liked the characters that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Except Snow White. She was kind of weird.
Yeah, Snow White always has a super high voice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to interact with her sometimes.
I feel like she never blinked. She kind of scared me.
Yep, could have been. I'm going to go on to Adventureland. We spent a little bit of time here. It's mostly walking through. Adventureland has kind of the Aladdin Agrabah area, which is kind of nice. And it also has the pirate area and the Indiana Jones area. So, all the adventure stuff.
Yeah.
There we went on Adventure Isle, which was by all the pirate stuff. It was like a cave walk through, pitch black in some places. And I ran into a wall before I turned on my flashlight and got out of there. That was nice. It was a fun little walk through. The theming of it was beautiful, just all around the pirate area. There's Captain Hook's ship was there, Skull Rock.
Yeah, it was cool.
Pirates of the Caribbean was closed.
Oh my gosh.
It just means we have to go back. So many things were closed.
And don't go mid to late June.
No, I guess not. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Peril was over there too, which is a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
How was that? I've heard some things, not from y'all, but I've heard some things of people who have done it online, and I'm interested in your take.
It was set up like a temple, like an Aztec thing. I don't know, and it was a legit like roller coaster. It kind of like Goofy Sky School at the top. The cars were. Well, I don't even know what they were supposed to be, like mine cars.
Mine cars. They looked like the cars from Everest,
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
but over the shoulder harnesses.
Yeah. It was definitely one of the rides that I came out from, and I was like, do I have whiplash? I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, my brain was rattling in my head the whole time I was on that ride.
A very violent side to side ride.
Yeah.
Lots of bumps, and it goes upside down.
Yeah. I think it's like the only one that goes upside down like in the daylight too.
Yeah.
All the other ones are like it's pitch black. But this one I was like, oh, okay, here I go.
It's just a little loop.
Yep.
It was so short too.
Yes.
Yes.
Like I can't imagine waiting over 30 minutes to go on that. Like,
yeah.
wouldn't be worth it. I mean, I wouldn't ride it again anyway. But
It looks like a lot of fun,
Yeah.
but it's very jarring.
Yeah.
That pretty much squares with what I've heard
Yeah.
from others. So
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Yeah. And something about like all the rides is over in the US, like they all have pockets to put like your things in.
Oh,
None of the rides have pockets there. So you just kind of got to hold on for dear life to your stuff.
Yep.
And like cross your fingers, nothing falls out.
Wow, interesting.
There were a couple of characters that we saw walking around in Adventureland. One of them was Jafar. And the other I saw, I don't know if you guys saw him, was Blue.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife.
I was walking on my way to Frontierland. I think you all took a different route. And I was just walking to Frontierland and I heard from various people, Blue, Blue, Blue. I'm like, oh, I don't see him, whatever. And all of a sudden, Blue comes up and puts his paw on my left shoulder as he walks by me. I'm like, oh, hi. That was kind of fun. I really liked Frontierland.
yeah.
There's a lot of good rides in this area. What was the first one we did over there?
Can't remember.
Was it Big Thunder?
Was it Thunder? Okay, yeah.
Elaborate.
This is like the Spider-Man meme going on over here. Everybody's pointing at each other.
Oh my goodness. It was so cool. It was like its own little island. I mean, you didn't get on the island because that would be weird. But you get on and then like the ride cart takes you under the water, I guess. And then you pop up and you're on the little island and it whips you around everywhere. It was really dark going underground. And it went like really fast on the way back to the main area. I was like, whoa, we're like reaching like highway speeds.
That's right. On the way back going underneath. Yeah, I thought the ride was over long before that because it was a very long Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
I wish we had done it more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a fun one, but we tried to go a couple other times and the waits were just, it was too long.
Yeah.
How does it compare to Thunder Mountain in Florida and Anaheim?
Better. This is the best Thunder Mountain I've been on.
Oh, wow.
It was just like really pretty to look at too.
Yes,
Like
it was.
everything there is just themed so nicely.
Yeah.
Like I want to take pictures of all the rides. I didn't even care if I went on them. Although you do want to go on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it does say,
Because this here's the
This here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
wilderness.
so that's good. The inflection is a little bit different on it, but it still says the thing.
The wildest ride in the world.
No, it's not in bastardized French, whatever the heck that was. One of the other amazing rides in Frontierland is Phantom Manor, which is Disneyland Paris's version of Haunted Mansion. I liked the storyline of this one
Yeah.
more than I do of the ones in Anaheim and Orlando. It's basically the same. There's just a couple of additions. It's the story of the Ravenswood family, and the bride gets engaged and her fiance mysteriously disappeared. And this happens a total of 4 times. So she never gets married. And there's like a phantom ghost thing that we think is causing all the deaths.
Oh, no.
So it's the story of this poor bride who's always left at the altar, the phantom who doesn't want her to get married. And then it has a lot of the other typical things you expect of the Haunted Mansion. So the elongated room in the beginning, the wallpaper, the singing busts were there.
Yep.
The graveyard scene is a little different, but it's still there. What do you all think of this one?
I like it better than like the normal Haunted Mansion because they actually like tried to tie it into Frontierland and
Yes.
stuff. So it all makes it a lot more cohesive rather than, in California or Florida, it's like it's New Orleans Square with like 2 rides. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay. But
Yeah.
now they don't have that. It's just all Frontierland. And the exterior of that ride is super cool.
Yeah.
Like
that.
when you enter, you're like actually entering through the front doors, and it really makes you feel like you're actually going into the mansion.
Yes.
Yeah, and like it actually looked scary on the outside.
Yeah.
Which was nice because like, oh, okay, I'm actually going into like a haunted house.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. And I think Vincent Price still voiced it, or somebody that really sounds like him. that was fun.
I think it was Vincent Price. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere or heard that somewhere. I think it was like one of the last things he did.
Where hinges creak in doorless chambers, where strange and frightening sounds echo through the halls, where candlelights flicker though the air is deathly still. This is Phantom Manor.
There's also the riverboat over in that area, but we never saw it move. Like, it just stayed there. One of the other things we did there, it was Frontierland has the Frontierland Theater. And what is showing there is Lion King Rhythms of the Pride Lands. This was an astounding show.
Yeah.
I've seen the Festival of the Lion King, celebration of the Festival of the Lion King, Broadway Lion King. This is on par with the Broadway Lion King, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite as, extensive, but it had people dressed up like the animals. It had acrobatics, wonderful singing. It was just all around an amazing show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was one of those times where I'm like, wow, you guys must really just like your job here, because I would not be in Disneyland if I was as talented as you guys.
Yeah.
Like, it was really cool. I was like, this is not like a Disney park show. This is definitely a more Broadway level. Like, because we had seen like Moulin Rouge a few days prior, and I was like, dang, they're kind of just as good as these people. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. No, and all like the colors and then the lights. It was just so vibrant. And I don't know, everyone's having a good time.
Yeah. There's a paid option for that show, and I can see why.
Yeah.
So you can get front and center, middle row or middle area seats to see everything. We still had really good seats for not doing a pay thing, but I can see why they offer that option. It was phenomenal. I would 10 out of 10 go see that again.
Yeah.
So speaking of paying, and this is a little bit of a tangent, but the Disneyland Paris parks is where, I don't think they call it Genie or Genie Plus or whatever, but it's where that pay per ride for a lightning lane or whatever they call it over there
premium access
started.
Yeah.
You guys didn't do that at all, right?
No, we did not do the Premier Pass. It is, cost-wise, it's on par with how Universal does their Express Pass. It is more than the cost of a ticket, I think.
Okay.
It's really expensive. And it's not, I don't think they have individual per ride pay. I think it's just the Premier Pass.
Okay.
I don't know. We didn't even look into that at all. So.
Okay. So it is that same, okay. That helps, saying that it's kind of like Universal, where you're paying $150, maybe $200 depending on the day to get access to all those lines, versus a $29 thing, and then, hey, we'll let you ride it once, maybe if you can snag the right time that works with your schedule. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even look into that because I knew it was ridiculously expensive to do that.
Okay.
I feel like you don't even really need it if you play your cards right, too. Like, the lines there really were never quite as bad as they are over in the States.
Yes, this is true. Yeah. The first time we were there, there wasn't really a lot of lines. We were exhausted from the flight.
Yeah.
And did a couple of rides and then kind of chilled and then went back.
Yeah.
And when we went back, it was because we wanted to see the nighttime shows. And these were astounding.
Yeah.
So there are two shows, one after another. The first one was the 30th anniversary of Disneyland Paris, the drone show. I loved this so much.
Yeah.
No fireworks were involved in that one. It was just the drone show. But you can't say it's just the drone show.
Yeah.
This was amazing. And there were so many people. It was wall to wall, back to back, full of people.
Yeah.
I think this was on par with what you would think Christmas Eve or 4th of July fireworks would be at the parks.
Yeah, no, it is. My family went for Christmas Eve one year and New Year's, and that was the most crowded I've ever been, like, while in a park, and that was literally exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy, especially because, like I was just saying, the lines during the day, they're not that crazy.
No.
Yeah.
But then for the show, like, it was pretty much everyone that was at the park.
Yeah. We made our way.
Yeah.
We shoved through, nicely, of course, all the people to get to the hub area, if you will. We got separated just because you all are a little smaller and I can weave through. But we both got up in that area and were able to watch the drone show. I got video of it. I got lots of good pictures of it. The drones made the nice 30 logo, which looks kind of like Mickey.
It is the best logo I've
Yes.
ever seen.
Yes.
That from a design standpoint, every time I saw it, I was like, I just love this logo.
Yes.
I just love it.
Yeah, and they've used that for like the DVC 30th anniversary too. I was like, yeah, makes sense. Tracks. I'm sure they will use that for any 30th anniversary
As
it
they
looks
should.
like it looks
Yeah.
like a Mickey head.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
perfect. The drone show was great. I think that was about a 10-minute show, 15-minute. Do
It
you
was
remember?
too short.
Yeah.
That was
It
my
was too
only
short,
thing.
yeah.
I was like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
I need more of this.
Yes.
It's so good.
And then afterwards, it went into the Disney Dreams Nighttime Extravaganza, which was the fireworks show, the projection and fireworks show. What did you all think of that?
That was also really good. I was so impressed by both of them. And the fireworks, I mean, the fireworks were cool, but they did a lot with the projections that were just so nicely fit with the castle and the layout of it. It was just aesthetically quite pleasing.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the projections, just and like the storyline, just with all like the different movies and stuff. Like there's like the Hunchback of Notre Dame at like some point. I'm like, wow, like you don't see that at like the Anaheim or Florida ones. So like that was cool to see the different movies.
I mean, it is Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's some good songs in there too. Yeah. Yeah. Projection show, fireworks show, very good. I am so glad that we went over there and watched those shows. We waited a little while afterwards because there was a lot of people. I stuck around as late as I possibly could because I wanted to get pictures of an empty park.
And pictures you did get.
Yes.
Those were so cool.
Yeah, I got a lot of good pictures of that. Oh, something we didn't talk about was for the 30th anniversary, they have kinetic statues all over the place.
Yeah.
These moving statues that I don't know who designed them, but they are just gorgeous. And there's 30 different statues for the 30th anniversary. We'll post some pictures of that too, because those were just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Nice to look at.
Those are metal sculptures.
Yes.
Yeah, that were mostly spinning, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I think all of them were.
Got it.
Yeah. Of the different movies, different characters, all that.
Oh, and during those nighttime shows, Alicea and I had a very Paris experience and were pickpocketed, where people attempted to pickpocket us.
Yep.
Yeah.
They unzipped our bags.
Yes.
Fun.
Yeah.
But at least for me, there were a lot of nice people there, and they told me, they're like, hey, your bag is open. Like, you might want to zip that up. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I did not do
here.
that.
Yeah, same here. Yep. Yeah, I moved the zipper on mine to be next to the my water bottle so you could not get to it easily at all.
Yep. It was a learning curve there. I was like, okay,
Yes,
I'm going to hold on
indeed.
to my stuff a little bit closer.
Yep. One of the other things that we did there was pictures in front of the castle with your graduation ears. Lots of fun. I burst into tears. 'cause that's me. Those turned out really good. I'm very happy with those.
Yeah.
Is there anything else regarding that park that you guys wanted to talk about?
We did go on like part of the train there,
Yes, we did. That's
which was
right.
pretty fun
Yeah.
as well. It was nothing crazy, but
No.
worth mentioning.
We saw inside of Pirates because it went through Pirates, and you could like, I don't know if you could hear, were there music playing?
Probably.
I don't know. You could
Well,
see
the
some like
ride was down,
waterfalls.
The ride was down.
You could see some like skulls or
You could
something.
see some skulls. You could see the restaurant that was
Yeah.
in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Just makes me want to go back. There's so many things that we missed.
Yeah.
How many days or day would you say if you just wanted to go to Disneyland Park? Like, how many days did it take to do the park?
If it was not a busy day, you could probably do it all in one. However, it is a huge park.
Yeah.
That is a lot to do in one day. I think 2 days would be fine.
Okay.
If you want to spread it out, 3 days.
Okay. it'd be interesting to see also like time of year. Y'all have been talking about how it's very low lines for everything, but there's also a ton of refurb going on. So I bet you like school wasn't out yet in most of the European schools, and they're probably doing like their last pre-summer refurb stuff before the summer holidays really kick in. I bet you it's a very different story like this week here in, early mid-July than it is just, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. And it was very hot and humid while we were there. Very mid 80s and humidity.
Yep.
Which I was not expecting.
You were saying that it was almost worse than Orlando in August.
With the humidity that was there, it's kind of what it felt like.
Wow.
Maybe it may not have been as like hot, but it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to cut it off there, and we will pick up next week with a discussion of the other park that's at Disneyland Paris Resort, and that is Disney Studios Park, which is not as big, but y'all had a lot of good times there as well. So we'll pick that up next week.
We are not affiliated with Disney, and we are not travel agents. While we can offer our opinions and suggestions, we recommend working with a travel agent to plan your perfect vacation.
If you have any questions or suggestions, or would like to be interviewed on our show to share your Disney experiences, please send an email to podcast@ourmousecapades.com.
Follow us on socials at Our Mousecapades. Please rate and review in your podcast app to help people find us.
Thanks for listening. We'll be in your ears next week.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.